like more reputable agents. But first things first, we gotta start somewhere. So that being said, training is not mandatory now. In the future, it will be. I'm gonna at everyone. Training started. At everyone. All right, cool. Now, as I said in the DM setting chat, today's training is pretty much just gonna be a repeat of yesterday's training, which was the product training, which is probably one of the most important trainings we've had thus far on the offer. Welcome, BNWave. So, which is why we're gonna repeat the same training we did yesterday today. Probably just gonna do a quick recap of what we learned yesterday, because it was pretty important. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone who's filing in. Mona, BNWave. I could tell you guys are serious because you guys are the only ones who's here. So that's good to know. That's good to know. Sven too. Sven is serious. Sven is always here. Fila's always here. Sana's here a lot. Oliver's usually here a lot. I'm getting a good idea of who's serious and who's just, here. But that's neither here nor there. With that being said, I was just telling Mappis that in the future training is gonna be mandatory. What's up, Being Wave? What's up? What's up? What's up? In the future, right now training's not mandatory because we're still, establishing the scripts and all the training and all the, the role plays and stuff like that. So for that reason, I'm not making training mandatory until we have all that fully established, fully set up, ready to go for everybody. But in the future, it will be. But until now, for now, it's not mandatory. In the future, though, it will be. Anyways, let's get into training. I'm sure you guys saw the group chat. We're pretty much going to be doing what we did yesterday, going over this product training document and going through some of the other sheets that we didn't go over yesterday. So, product training. Again, let's get into it. You don't need to know how to build websites. You don't need to understand code. Understand one thing. Business owners are losing customers because their online presence and they don't even know it. Your job is to help them see and understand that they're losing customers when they can't even see that they're losing customers. And then you have to show them that we can fix that issue. So you have to not only bring them the issue, but you have to help them see how it affects them and bring them the solution to solve it. So by that logic, if you're really fucking good at DM setting and you're really good at, the art of DM setting and talking to these business owners, and you keep practicing and training and getting good, you should be able to sell pretty much anybody, because you're not only introducing them to the problem, but you're also like directly correlating it to them, making them see, well, so what? Why me? Why does it affect me? So if you're really good at doing that, you'll be able to sell pretty much almost any client, because a lot of clients that we talk to, they need websites, like they need our services. So if you're able to get good at this skill, you'll be able to sell most of them. If you're able to, tie it to them and be trustworthy and they believe you and, help them see that they really need these websites. If you're good at doing that, you'll be able to close a lot of them because you're the one bringing them the problem and the solution. So if you're good at that, you'll close. With that being said, right here we can see a bad site. It's outdated, it looks unprofessional, it's blurry with poor quality. It's not mobile friendly, it creates doubt. This one, modern, clean, professional, clear phone number, 5-star reviews, mobile optimized, credibility, builds credibility on this one. So they look more professional. Customers are going to go with Clearwater Plumbing over Joe's Plumbing. Now, why does website matter? Because before they call the business, customers look them up. They Google the business name, they click the first link they see, and in 5 seconds they're like, I might want to work with these guys, I might want these guys to do work, maybe not. If the site looks old, broken, slow, or unprofessional, they close the tab and move on to the next site. Business never even knows they were there. Now, here's what a bad website costs a business. If you have a bad website, you're losing customers who search your business. You're losing trust with customers that already go with your thing. They might go with another business that looks more credible, unless you've already done work for them and they really like you. But you're not getting as much customers as you could be, losing trust with that trust. You're losing revenue to competitors who have a better looking site. Even if your work is better, if their site looks better, they're going to get the customer that you could have gotten. Dependence on word of mouth. which means you're dependent basically on the customers who have already worked with you and they like your work. So you're depending on repeat work, not only repeat work, but you're also depending on those people to, talk good about your business. If they just don't say anything, then you don't get any new clients. You're wasting money on Angie's List, Thumbtack, or Home Advisor, paying for leads that go out to 4 other competitors. Like if you're a plumber and you're paying money for leads on Angie's List is sending that same list of leads to 4 other plumber companies. Think about it this way. If 2 plumbers show up on Google and one has a clean professional site and the other one looks like it was built in 2009, who will get the call? Almost always the one that looks like they have their stuff together. So if they look like they have their stuff together, they're going to get the customer when they look them up on Google. 2 plumbers, they both do the same thing. They both do the same. I mean, the one with the bad site might even do better work. But the customer wouldn't know that because they're going based off the site. So if their site looks janky, then they won't even get to see the work because they'll be going with the competitor with the better site. So what most of these business owners are thinking, they're not thinking, oh, I need a better website. They're not just at home like, wow, my website sucks. My website is so terrible. I don't know. It's really losing me customers. Like they're not just sitting there thinking that. That's your job to help them see that. They're not just sitting around thinking, yeah, my website's really losing me customers. I wish I would just, some of them might be, and those would be lay down clients, but most of them aren't. Most of them aren't just sitting around thinking, I need a better website. They're thinking, no, it's kind of slow this month. I'm not getting that many calls. Like, business isn't really picking up how it usually is. I don't know why. You're here to try and help them explain their errors, their issues, what's going wrong for them. They might be thinking, I'm not getting enough calls. They're not going to connect the dots for you. They're not going to be like, oh, this guy's talking about a website. I need to look into that. If you communicate it well enough, then that's exactly what they'll say. But they're not already thinking that until you bring it to them. So you have to do your job well enough to communicate it to them in a way where they actually see it as something worth looking into. So it depends on your level of communication and how well you can express the idea to them that they might need a website. If you're very convincing in your argument of telling them like, yo, I think you need a website. If you're very convincing and persuasive in presenting that fact to them, then they'll believe you. But if you're not that convincing, and if you're just like, yeah, you might need a website, then chances are they won't believe you because you're the one presenting it to them. So they don't connect the dots. Your job is to help them connect the dots by also being credible and certified, knowing what makes a good site versus a bad site. You can help them connect the dots this way by giving them the evidence and helping them see exactly how it lines up to the problems that they're facing. So, you need to be able to look at a business website and know within 60 seconds whether it's working for them or against them. Now, here's what you should look at. Here are some signs of a bad site with low conversion, low customers. They're not getting customers from their site, which is the problem that we're trying to solve. Here are signs of a bad site. If it doesn't load fast on your phone or looks terrible on mobile, that's not good. If you can't find a phone number or a contact form in the first few seconds, that's not good. Their CTA is bad. That means customers go to their site and they get confused. They don't know where to click, so they click off. If it looks like it hasn't been updated in years, if it has old fonts, low quality photos, and a broken layout, that's bad because it conveys that, if their site looks bad, the customer's thinking like, what is the work going to look like? If the site looks like it hasn't been updated in years, old font, low quality photos, that breaks trust. That makes them think, maybe these guys don't have it all together. If there's no clear message about what they do and who they serve, that should be, first and foremost, who we are, what we do, who we serve. Because if you go to a plumber site and they're like, and then it's just like, look at this plunger, look at this toilet, look at this house, look at this bathroom. It's like, okay, like the fuck? So what? The good way to do that is to have a clear message of, we're Clearwater Plumbing. We've been doing plumbing for 15 years, and we are here to, fix houses in Texas or, something that customers can look at them and be like, oh, okay, this is who they are. This is what they do. Yeah, I think this is who I need to be talking with. If they have no Google reviews on the site, that's usually a no-no. That's a bad sign because people don't just buy off what the person says, they buy off testimonials predominantly. For the most part, testimonials get, I would say testimonials is like 60% of the sale. So we're gonna have to get more testimonials as well. We're gonna work on building those out. But I would say testimonials are like 60% of the sale. If someone, that's why referrals work so well. Like when people say, "Oh, I get referrals," they work well because when someone refers someone to somewhere, then they trust that person by association with the person that told them. They trust the company because they trust the person that told them the company is good. So when you get testimonials, when you have testimonials on your website and it's not just the company itself, because of course the company is going to be like, yeah, we do the best work, we do this, we do that, we're the best in town, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, of course the company is going to say that. Every company says that. Every company says they're the best, they do the best work. But when you see testimonials saying that, then they believe, oh, these guys are just like me. So if they're saying that, then if they do work for me, I'm probably going to say that too. Like if the testimonials are saying they're the best, then when these guys do work for me, I'm probably going to say they're the best as well. Like they're like they're the testimonials, not the business owner. Because of course any business owner is going to be like, yeah, we're the best, we're the best, we're the best. But the testimonials is what proves it. So with that being said, it's good to have Google reviews on the site. If the site is hard to navigate, it's too many pages, confusing menus, or no clear next step, then that means it is confusing. It is a confusing site. Customers don't know where to go. They're going to the site and they're getting lost like a maze. If there's no, and that's not good. You want it to be very easy for the customer to just click, book, get appointment, etc., etc. If they have no lead capture, no form, no chat, no way to book or get a quote, specifically no lead capture or no form. If they don't have a page on their website where it's like reach out to us here, like look, I'll go to a random plumbing page. Look, schedule service. They got scheduled service right here, easy. They got the phone number right here, so you can just call them right there. What if I want to do something later, not today? Where's the form? Is there no form? Contact us. Is there a form? Call us. Here's the form. If they don't have this form that says, leave your information and we'll get back to you, then that's a bad site because they're missing out on leads. Someone's calling. Mappus is calling me. What's up, Mappus? Aren't you in the training? Oh, welcome everybody. Mappus, aren't you in the training? Product training exercise 2. Product training exercise 2. Yo, what's up, Hat Kid? What's up, Sven? What's up, Fila? You aren't training? Oh, I'm not streaming. Yo, streaming. Okay, cool. This whole time I've just been yapping. I mean, I hope you guys were able to still follow along even though I wasn't streaming. Did you guys, were you still getting valuable information even though I wasn't streaming? Or was it just, confusing as hell the whole time? I just got here, okay. Even if my screen wasn't off, was it okay? Still caught everything. Cool. That means I did good at explaining it. Thanks. That's a compliment. Okay, that's why you guys were on the document though. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, if I look up, this is what I was showing when I said that. If I, you want to make sure the site has, good quality, it's modern, clean, professional, etc. But here's the form I was talking about. When I said if they have a form, if they have a contact form, you see where it says on their site, it says schedule service. They have their phone number right here, right? And then you go to the form, and then you go. The only thing with this site is it's not on the first page. The form's not on the first page. Like I scroll to the bottom of this page, and there's no form to put my information anywhere, which that could be something that we reach out to them and tell them like, hey, your form isn't on the first page, so you might be losing out on customers who go to the first page looking for the form to schedule a demo and they don't find it, and then they click off this site and then go to another site that actually has a form. So let's see if these guys have a contact us. Oh, here they do. Okay, so I'm gonna go with these guys because they actually let me leave my information so I could, and they have a thing to keep me on the page. Winter pump special, 450 for 1,000 gallons. Wow, that actually sounds like a great deal. I'm gonna call them and I'm gonna see. There's plenty of things that you can do as a business owner to make your site convert. Let's talk. This is a great site. Look at all the buttons for me to press and to contact them, like to speak to them directly to see if they can help me. This is a great site. This is a great site for that. So that being said, look, they have the form. We're gonna delete my address so y'all don't dox me. They have the form right here. Service type, I need la 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 la. Okay, great. Oh, here, Google reviews. Leave us a review. Oh, they even have places to leave reviews. Like if I want to leave a Google review, these guys are great. These guys are amazing. Do they have the reviews on the site? Yep, they have the testimonials right here. Wonderful pricing, customer service, very fast and reliable. Huh. So if they're great service, great people, and great prices, maybe I should work with these guys. You know what? I think these guys are the ones I'm gonna go with to, fix my plumbing. So that's how the customer makes the decision. And the business owner may know that, they might not know that, but it doesn't make it any less true whether or not they know it. So with that being said, it's your job to, show them the evidence, show them all the reasons why their site could be better and how we're going to make it better and how that's going to get them more customers with us doing that. So you want to make sure they have a lead capture form, so that people can leave their information for them to reach out to later, so they can, be a lead on their system. And here is an example of some bad sites. They have slow mobile time. They have no phone number, no reviews, confusing navigation, and no clear CTA. There's no next step for the visitors of the site. They just go to the site and they're like, what is this? A good site loads instantly. The phone number's at the top right. 4.8 stars on Google. So they go to the site and they see the reviews immediately. Wow, this place looks pretty reputable. They have a 3-click navigation. That's not, it doesn't have to be 3-click, but it has to be navigable. It has to be easy for the customer to go onto the site and click exactly where they want to go. Like they see contact, they see about us, they see services, they see all that stuff. Now, and they also have a CTA, which is basically if you want to get into contact us, if you want to get into contact with us, then you could call this number here, call us at 555, etc., etc., etc. So you already know a good site loads fast and clean on a phone. You know exactly what they do within 3 seconds of, getting onto the site. There's a clear call to action saying, call now, get a free quote, or book online. Google reviews are visible and make them look credible. They're easy to contact, their phone number at the top of the page, and they have professional photos that make the business look legit. And there's one clear message, not just a wall of text that's confusing the customer. You don't need to be a designer to spot the differences. If you land on a site and your first thought, you don't need to be a designer to spot the differences. I'm going to delete this part because that's unnecessary. But, yeah, and these are the things that we want to communicate to business owners when we talk to them, because they're not going to be thinking, oh, if my site doesn't load instantly, I'm losing customers. They're not going to be thinking that. We have to connect those dots for them. We have to tell them about, the stuff on this document so that they're able to connect those dots, where you have to provide them the problem, information of why it's a problem, and the solution, and information on how we're going to solve it. So we basically, whatever we see on their site, we just say we're going to fix it. Like if any of this stuff that pops up, any of this stuff that makes a bad site pops up on their site, we tell them how we're going to fix it, why we're going to fix it, and how much more money it's going to make them when we fix it. So you don't need to be the designer to spot the differences. Here's what Built by Duke sells. We don't sell websites, we sell results. Here is the difference. Looks beautiful. This is a great site right here. You can tell the difference in quality. A site like this is more like the site that I clicked on when I was like, yo, these guys do good work. I'm gonna go with these guys. Let's see if I can find that website. I probably won't be able to. Let's see. Yeah, this one. A site like this is more like this one. This is a great website because look, you have the phone number, you have the get in contact, you see the reviews, you see the services, home, about, everything. This one, the same thing. You see the phone number, you see the contact, all the contact information at the top. It's kind of laggy. That's the only thing I would say is, a bit off about this site. It's kind of laggy. It's making my computer self-destruct a little bit. I think it's just this video that they put at the top. But you can see, there's a thing where it says leave us reviews, contact our Facebook. Okay, cool. I just need to know where to go to get it fixed. Okay, There's a contact thing right there. There's a contact thing right there. There's a also they could have more contact things, which is really what makes the site really good. Having as many places to contact them, leave your information, and get in the system for them so that they can service that customer. So boom, this is a really good site. I would say this site is better than that one because it has get free quote, contact, reviews, about us, our work, 5 stars, get free quote, send request. Boom. Everything on this site is built for conversion. Everything on this site is built to, get visitors to the site and turn them into customers. This site is built for conversion. Like, they have about us and our work and who we are and all that, but those are secondary to the primary function of the site, which is to get more customers. Like, if they want to learn more about the company and go to about us and see what they do, then cool. But most customers don't care. Most customers don't care about your company origin and like how long you've been in business for and how your grandpappy thought of the business when he was in his grandpa's basement or something. Like, customers don't care. They just care that they have a problem and you're the person that can fix it. So they want to get into contact with you as soon as possible so that they can fix the problem. Now, with that being said, this site you can see is built to convert. Fast, mobile optimized, clear focus message, strong CTA, trust, and social proof turn visitors into customers. A professional site that builds trust and books more jobs. So if they ask what type of stuff do you do for Book by Duke, you could literally take this picture, like screenshot this picture, cut it out, and send this to them. As long as it's not blurry, or just like save this picture in your phone. So if a customer asks like, what do you do? And you could literally send this to them. You could just download this picture because this is a great picture to send to a customer who might be on the fence, who might be skeptical, who might not know exactly why or what. So after you've told them why they need a good site, after you've told them like why this type of stuff affects their site and how it affects their site, how it's losing them jobs, you can send them this so they can see like, oh wow, yeah, this does look way better. I bet if I had a site like this, I would be getting more customers. And then be like, yeah, okay. We're not saying we'll build you a nice website. We're saying that you'll get more calls from people who found you on Google. You'll get more trust from someone who looks you up. You look like the obvious choice. You'll get a system that captures lead automatically. You own your own traffic. You're not paying for shared leads from Angie's List or Thumbtack. You have a brand that lets you charge more because you look like a premium option. When someone hires Built by Duke, they're not just getting a website, they're getting a professionally designed site built around converting visitors into customers, SEO structure so Google visitors can actually find them, Google review integration so their reputation builds automatically, and a lead capture system so no inquiry slips through. Does anyone have any questions? It's laggy because the video's a GIF? Yeah, it was laggy. Welcome, Bomus. I haven't seen you before. Welcome. Does anyone have any questions with where we are so far? Or are we all caught up to speed, learning some valuable information? Make sure I'm still streaming real quick. Okay. So far, this is setting, not closing. Yes, we haven't started closing yet because we haven't set any appointments yet. But I'm giving you guys all the information necessary. But we have closers. I'm a closer. We have like 2 other closers. Heart Paul's a closer, and I think GB. We have other closers as well. If GB, I don't know if GB is still with us, but me, Heart Paul, and a couple of other guys are closers. So we have closers. So we're able to close these sites. We just need you guys to do the setting. And we'll all be able to get paid, man. Paid. P-A-I-D. So yeah, this is setting. Yes, correct. Outbound setting via social media DMs. And soon we're going to expand into Instagram. We're going to expand into LinkedIn. 5 p.m. right now, so it's only 2 hours left before the end of the day. Yeah, 8 p.m. Yes. Only 2 hours left, yes. Excuse me. Facebook been messing with you. You're gonna have to tell me more about that. I'm gonna have to see exactly what you mean when you say Facebook been messing with you. Is it because that you're trying to send like messages, and we'll talk. Tell me a bit about that after the training. I'll see if I can try and help you out, get it resolved. With that being said, we're gonna go back into it. Hope you guys are ready. So when someone hires Built by Duke, they're not just getting a website; they're getting in, all this stuff. They get a brand upgrade, full on brand upgrade, because their digital presence is most of their presence, like most of their business presence to any customer who's not just going to see them in real life. Anyone who's seeing them online is gonna see their website, and that's gonna be like they're pretty much their whole business to that person. To the person that sees them only online, that's gonna be their whole perception of their business. And maybe like a Facebook page, but what are the chances someone like goes from their website to their Facebook page instead of just going from their website to getting the work done? That's gonna be their whole perception of that business owner, their website. So, how to explain results when a lead asks? We're gonna skip this part. We're gonna go on to the next. We're gonna go on to the next page because we didn't go over this page yesterday. Here's a quick summary of basically everything we just said. Why websites matter. Before anyone calls a business, they look it up. A bad site means they leave without calling. Business owner doesn't know. Weak online presence makes a legitimate business look like a side hustle, even if they have a full crew. Businesses paying for Angie or Thumbtack are splitting leads. A strong website gives them exclusive traffic that they own. A bad site, look for slow or broken loading time. Like if the site is slow to load, if the site takes a long time to load, or is broken, like some things don't load, like the forms don't pop up on mobile or on desktop, either or, that's a bad site. If there's no phone number or contact option, that's a bad site. If there's an outdated design, low quality photos, or cluttered layout that's confusing, that's a bad site. If there's no Google reviews, that's a bad site. If there's no lead capture form or way to request a quote, that's a bad site. If you can't tell what they do within 5 seconds, that's a bad site. Good site. Loads fast, looks clean on a phone, that's a good site. If they have a clear call to action, call now, get a free quote, contact us, that's good. Google reviews are visible, that's good. Easy contact number at the top, form on the page, that's good. Professional photos, clear messaging, one main action, okay, that's good. We don't but the person with some of these good things, like they could have all these good things on their site. It could load fast, it could have a clear call to action, they could have Google reviews, but they still might not have a lead capture form. Like the plumbing site I went to, I clicked off it. It was a really good looking site. It loaded fast, they had a clear call to action, Google reviews, all that. But I clicked off that website because the contact form, the lead capture form, wasn't on the first page. So I went to a plumbing website where the lead capture form was on the first page because I wanted to leave my information for them to come and do the work a bit later. But on the first page, there was nowhere for me to do that. So I clicked off their page. They lost a customer for that, because of that, because they didn't have a lead capture form. So they could have a whole bunch of good stuff. They could have, good stuff on their site. But if they don't have everything, then we can still have a conversation about that. We can still tell them, like, I think your site would perform even better if you had all this stuff, because this is what we offer. Now, what Built by Duke sells, we sell more calls, more trust, and a lead system. Don't worry about the pricing. We're selling sites. We're trying to sell sites anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. You can anchor the price depending on where you see fit, like the client's needs after you ask your questions. 60-second site audit. Ooh, that would be good. I'm gonna make some questions for you guys to ask, like a page full of questions, full of good questions for you to ask business owners. That's valuable training information. So, 60-second site audit. Yep, you wanna check. See, DM examples. Cool. Let's do the opener sheet. Gotta go through this cheat sheet. Here's a cheat sheet. 3 key beliefs. People decide in 5 seconds whether to trust a business based on their site. Bad site equals they leave. A bad site doesn't just look unprofessional. It actively costs the business, calls, jobs, money. Most owners don't know they have a problem. They think it's a slow month. You help them connect the dots. If they ask you what results do websites get, you can say the businesses with a real site shows up first on Google. If yours looks bad, they click someone else. Uh, uh, uh. Take out this part because it sounds salesy. One job through the site pays for the whole thing. It works 24/7 while you're on the job site. Look at their site before you DM. Know what's wrong before you say anything to them. Ask questions. Are you getting calls from your site? Beats your site is bad. Or are you getting calls? Is a good question to ask. Stay consultative. You're diagnosing a problem, not pitching a product. Don't dump the whole offer in a DM. That's the closer's job. Don't even tell them don't even tell them about the offer. Just ask questions until we realize whether or not they need our help. If you can ask enough questions to, build your own diagnosis of their problem like a doctor, then you could be like, yeah, I think you would benefit from this and that, and here's why. Here's what you would probably get from choosing to do this and that, and they'll be like, oh, okay, let me think about that. Yeah, if you ever need someone who's good at that, and then boom. So don't lead with features before you understand their problem. Don't be pushy. If they're not interested, move on. No, that's a bad one actually. You can be pushy. Don't be desperate. You can be pushy. Don't be desperate. If they're not interested, then keep following up until they block you. Anyways, don't make people block you. Don't try to make people block you, but keep following up. Like if they say I'm not interested, ask them questions. Well, why aren't you interested? Like, what's making you say that? Are you not interested in money? Do you not like the idea of being able to make more money? If you knew that this conversation in itself would be able to bring your business more money, more revenue, would you be interested then? Would it be worth having this quick 5-minute conversation with me? Then would you be interested if you knew I would bring you more money? Okay. So, start with a question, not an offer. Ask about their situation first. Ask, are you getting calls? That's a good opener. Uncover their pain before you mention any offer. If we fix that, what would it do for your business? Compared to the cost of nothing, how much is a slow month? Compared to the cost of doing nothing, how much is a slow month costing you? We got to train you on how to do that. If they push back on price, if the results are there, would you meet us in the middle? I need to think about it. What specifically do you need to think about? We just helped plumbing business get, 1,000 clients last week. Give them 2 options. If they ghost, don't spam them. I don't like some of these. You're not selling, you're helping them decide. Stay calm, stay curious. Yes, true. All right. Let's see what other document, because we're building a lot of documents now. Oh, something else we're doing is, and more on this in the future. That's it for the documents. But something else that we're doing is we are making a freaking pushy does not equal desperate. You can be pushy because some customers need that. Some customers need, an extra push for them to see your point. Like they might think Made in Abyss background, he knows game, he knows ball. Yes, it is Made in Abyss, that is correct. My desktop. But with that being said, yeah, it's okay to be pushy sometimes when they don't believe that what you have can help them. Because if they don't see the value in it, push them to help them see the value. Obviously you don't want to stuff it down their throat, but like you could be like, hey, I see that, you're not really open to considering what I have to say. Why is that? Why do you believe that it's not gonna work? Why do you think that if we did this and this, that you wouldn't be able to achieve the goals you want? Is it more of a personal thing, or do you just think it doesn't work? What's a follow-up again? A follow-up is no, not one follow-up. I don't know why it says one follow-up. It's supposed to be 7. Follow-up is basically if they ghost you, like if they stop talking, like if they stop responding to you, you want to make sure that You say like, hey, just bumping this message up. Hey, I saw that I'm still, thinking about your business or something like that. Like something to let them know that you're still alive, you're still there with them, and you want to send 7 of those about once a day. Like, hello. You wanna no, not 7 in one day, but yeah. Follow up is if someone ghosts you, like on Facebook, like you're having a conversation with somebody, and then about the website, and then suddenly they just stop talking, they just don't respond anymore. Then you want to follow up with them. You want to send 7 follow-ups, like one a day. Like for the next 7 days, you want to send them one message so that, because like 80% of sales is done after the fifth message, after the fifth interaction, like the fifth time you guys meet with each other. 80% of sales happens after that. So I wouldn't say 80%. It's a lot. It's a lot though. It's like probably 60%. 60% of sales. But what's it called? One message per day for 7 days. Yes, exactly. Like just remind them that you're still there, you're still alive, you're still looking to help them, improve their business, stuff like that. Just keep providing them value. Like, I'm not sure if you were able to. I'm not sure if you. I'm not sure if you saw the value in what I was saying before, but here's a reason why. Or like, just don't come off as like a desperate ex. Like, I need you to talk to me. Like, where are you? Like, don't do that. But you can come off as like, hey, I was just, following up to see if you were still interested in this, or if you were still looking to learn more about this, or if you're still struggling with this, or if you're still, lead capture form should be on the first page. Yes, it does sound salesy. Pushy does not equal desperate. Pushy could be like pushing them to make a good decision. As long as we're trying to convince them in their best interest. Someone told me this a little while ago. They said the only difference between manipulation and sales and persuasion is that manipulation is done for your best interest, but persuasion is done for their best interest. So if you persuade them to make a good decision that they wouldn't have made prior without your influence or your information, the information that you offer, the valuable information that you bring to them, then you're persuading them to make a good decision that will be a net positive for them in their life. So they're going to thank you for that. People don't hate sales. They just hate sales reps who don't have their best interests at heart. So if you're doing your due diligence and your research on what you need to provide to the person that you're talking to, like, you do your research on their company and you can see where they're missing out on, then they'll love you for fixing that. A lot of this job is about rhetoric and psychology. Yes, it's kind of like debate. It's kind of like debating. Like, if someone says all websites don't work, you have to have a bunch of facts and points and knowledge on why websites do work and help them make the logical conclusion that websites do work and they should get a website. You're just convincing them. So with that being said, I'm going to keep building out these documents, going to give you guys more information on the websites and, why they work, how they work, what to say to business owners if they say they don't work, so that we can all be successful. But yeah, a lot of sales is psychology, debate. We can go through some quick sales psychology before we close out this training. We can go through some quick sales psychology. Just so that everyone can, get some more value from today. Or not even sales psychology. We're just going to go over principles. This isn't even sales at this point. This is just life. This is life psychology. We're going to go through a couple of these. We're going to only choose 5. And after that, we're going to go ahead and cut it there. Winners lose more than losers ever will. Winners lose more than losers ever will. If you want to win in this life, you're going to have to become best friends with loss. If you want to win at anything, loss is going to be your best friend because that's the only path to winning. You don't win without losing. It doesn't happen. Nobody has ever done that. You have to lose over and over and over and over and over again. Then you win one. Then you lose and lose and lose and lose. Then you win two. Then you lose and lose and lose. Win three. Lose and lose and lose. Win five. Lose and lose. Win six. Eventually, you start winning more than you lose. But there's no getting through that initial losing period. So get used to it. Get acquainted with it. Acknowledge the fact that losing is just a learning experience. A loss isn't anything but a lesson. When you lose, guess what you did? You learned a lesson. So it's still a win. Get acquainted with losing. Love losing, love your losses, and be happy that you lost, because that's just a loss that you won't take again. Like, it just teaches you what not to do when you lose. So, yeah, winners lose more than losers ever win, or will. Buy the way you want to be bought from. That's just like, sell how you want to be sold. You don't want someone to be, in your face, trying to sell you this. You need this because this, and this. You want someone that'll actually sell you something like that is helpful. Like, say for example, you have two people, right? And there's one person who it's a hot day. It's a hot day on the beach. They're at, Santa Monica Pier, and it's a hot day. And person one is under the shade, drinking a martini with an umbrella in it, with a fan on, and he's in like a winter coat or something on the beach. He's under the shade, got a little fan, blowing air on himself, and he's drinking an ice cold drink. He's drinking like a coconut rum with ice. And then you come along with a water bottle, trying to sell that guy that water bottle for $3. What's he gonna think? He's gonna think, why in the hell would I buy a water bottle from you for $3 when I already have a drink? It's already a cold drink, and I have a fan, and it's not even all that hot to me because I have a fan and I'm under the shade and I'm chilling. That guy's going to look at you crazy and be like, I don't need a freaking water bottle. And then when you try to push the water bottle to him, like, no, this water bottle is so refreshing. It has the best water, the spring, dear spring. You're going to be so refreshed. That guy's going to be like, I don't care. Get away from me. And then you don't make that sale. But let's say you have that same water bottle, that $3 water bottle, and this time you're trying to sell it to somebody who's out on the beach, but they're running a marathon. That person who's running the marathon, and they're like halfway through the marathon, and they're sweating and they're dying and they're running, you run to go catch up with them while they're running that marathon. And you're like, hey man, I got this $3 water bottle. Like, do you want to buy it? You don't even have to say it's ice cold, it's refreshing, any of that. Just, I got this $3 water bottle. They're gonna say, give it to me. They're gonna say, give me the water bottle. Give me. They're going to beg you to buy the water bottle because they're out there running a marathon in the heat. You have to know your client. Buy the way you want to be bought from. Don't be pushy. Don't try to force a sale. Don't try to force a sale that's not there. Because the right client will be like, yo, I need a website. Give me the website. The right client will say that. But the wrong client might be like, I just got a $30,000 website done yesterday. I don't need a website. Don't try to force that sale. Like, you can ask questions about it and see if they're lying or just like not telling the truth about it. You can ask questions about that site and see if they're actually telling the truth about getting a $30,000 site done. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. But if they're being dead ass serious, like, I don't need a website, I just got a $30,000 site done yesterday, here, you can see it, then what's the point in wasting your time trying to convince that person to buy another website when they already have one? I mean, you could probably think of something that could be like, oh yeah, maybe I do need another website. But at that point, that would be just disingenuous. Like, we don't really want to do that. So the right person will buy from you. Like, when we present it to them in the right way, in the way that makes sense to them, the right person will beg you to buy your thing. Even if you don't present it to them in a way that they need to hear. Like, just sometimes you just get lucky and you just come across the right person at the right time. Like that guy who was running the marathon versus the guy who was under the shade already drinking a drink. You don't want to sell. You don't want to even try to sell that water bottle to the guy who's drinking the drink because he's gonna say no. Like, chances are he's gonna say no. You could still make the offer. You don't lose anything making the offer, but you're not gonna spend all that much time trying to sell that guy who's got the drink. You're gonna spend more time trying to sell the guy who's running the marathon. Like if he's running the marathon and he's tired and he's sweating, he's like, oh, I don't need water. I don't need water. I'm ice cold already. You're gonna spend more time with that guy saying, I don't know, man. You look pretty sweaty. It looks like you might need some water. You're gonna spend more time with that guy trying to convince him because he might actually be like, oh, okay, you're right. Yeah, I might need some water. So, buy the way you want to be bought from. Don't try to force a sale. And we're gonna do one more. You can't complain about outcomes from work you didn't do. So if you don't put in the work, if you don't put in the effort, if you don't put in the sacrifice to get good at, what you're trying to be good at, how can you complain? How can you complain? You can't complain. If you're not actually putting forth the effort to achieve what it is you want to achieve, then how are you going to complain? Because you don't even know if it works yet. You have to put in effort. Effort is non-negotiable. Whether it be painful, whether it be time consuming, whether it be attention. Not all effort is the same. Not all effort is physical, manual effort. Like, not all effort is like painful effort. Effort can be spending a lot of time on something. Effort can be painful, like physically or mentally draining. Effort can be, control, like trying to control how you are, how you respond or react to certain things. That can be effort. Effort is not always just pure pain. I don't put in that much pain when it comes to the things I want to achieve. I don't really hurt myself over trying to, teach you guys how to set DMs and, get good at setting DMs. I do, on the other hand, spend a lot of time. I spend plenty of time on making these things, like these documents and all this stuff, so that you guys can be successful. And it's not necessarily difficult. It just takes a long time. So, with that being said, don't complain about outcomes from work you didn't do. Put in the effort, and then once you've put in the effort, you can refine and iterate and see what improvements need to be made. With that being said, I hope you guys are going to sleep at good times, anywhere from between 8 p.m., 10 p.m. And I know that's probably ironic to the people who are here at like fucking 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I know that's probably ironic. Like, Hat Kid, yeah. 12 a.m. My fault. I want to start doing trainings earlier. I keep saying I'm going to do trainings earlier. I need to start doing trainings earlier for you guys. One step at a time, though. I'm on this 1 p.m. 1 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. But, hey, is it worth it, though? Like, you guys getting some valuable knowledge. I find this time is to be the best. Yeah, this is the good time to, like, learn, improve. After 12 o'clock, that's when our creative brain turns on. So you're probably, like, learning a lot more from it late at night. And you get to sleep on it, too. Night owl, that's fire. You get the information, and then you get to immediately let it marinate. You don't get any more information for the rest of the day. You just marinate on the super valuable stuff. But anyways, with that being said, my sleep is all messed up. I'm not even a night owl or a morning person. I'm a shifting mound. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'll go to sleep at 8 p.m. Sometimes I'll go to sleep at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Yesterday I went to sleep at 5:30 a.m. But it's cool. It don't matter really what time you go to sleep. It matters what you do when you're awake, to be honest. Like going to sleep early can make your day more productive, but you can even be productive as long as you're being productive. Just be productive, bro. Like all throughout the day, just fucking be productive, learn, improve every second of the day. Look for the way to get better at what you're already doing so that you can improve on other things as well. Literally me. All right, cool. Thank you for the training. Very helpful. I'm glad you thought so, Thomas. Absolutely warms my heart to hear those words from you. Thank you. Pray for Hat Kid. Everybody pray for Hat Kid. I want everybody right now to say a prayer for Hat Kid. Hat Kid. Who are we making this prayer out to? Who are we making this prayer out to, Hat Kid? Or should we just say Hat Kid? Dear God, please give Hat Kid long life, longevity, prosperity, peacefulness, protection, and love and joy in his lifetime. And we pray that he is successful. That being said, I'm done yapping. I'm gonna go ahead and dip out. Peace out, everybody. Look at that fucking pug. That's pretty cool. Anyways, bye everyone. I'm out. I will see y'all on the flip side. Peace.